This is a review for the Shark IQ robot vacuum. There are different submodels of this robot vacuum that have different sensors for navigation and come with different types of self-empty docking stations. We tested a submodel that has a camera and floor tracker and comes with an extra large auto empty dock. The IQ's airflow was measured at 19 CFM. Its suction was measured at 0.85 kPa. In our carpet stress test, the IQ picked up all debris types reasonably well. This robot has a fairly narrow, direct cleaning path, as its brushable compartment is only 5.5 inches wide. It does have two side brushes, which should theoretically help widen its overall cleaning path, as these side brushes should be able to pull debris from the perimeter of the robot towards its direct cleaning path. But this particular robot's side brushes are not very effective doing so, which means that the robot really relies on that direct cleaning path, using really only its brush roll to pick up most debris. The IQ also doesn't really repeat movement over most areas in a single cleaning cycle, and so it required 2 complete cleaning cycles for it to get a thorough cleaning in this test. In our carpet deep clean test, the Shark IQ picked up 6 grams of debris after 3 passes over an area of carpet embedded with 30 grams of fine debris. In our hard floor stress test, the Shark IQ once again picked up all debris types reasonably well, though once again its side brushes were not very effective pulling debris from the perimeter of the robot into its direct cleaning path. Its side brushes are also mostly to blame for the IQ's terrible edge cleaning performance. So what is it about them that makes them so ineffective? The problem is that the Shark IQ's side brushes only have 1 strand of fibers extending from the center of the brush. Most other robot vacuums have side brushes with at least 3 strands of fibers that extend from the center of the brush. Clearly, the latter option with multiple strands is the far superior, more effective design. The Shark also doesn't get sufficiently close to the edge for it to clean the edge effectively, but it's its side brush design that's the main culprit causing its poor edge cleaning performance. In our robot vacuum crevice test, the Shark IQ did not perform well on default power or on maximum power. Even after extensive runtime, it still could not pull most of the debris out of the crevice used for this test on either power setting. In our human hair pickup test, the IQ picked up all the hair, but most of that hair wasn't pulled into its dustbin. 70 to 80% of the hair it picked up tangled around its side brushes and around its brush roll and had to be cleaned off manually. In our pet hair pickup test, the Shark IQ picked up and collected all of the shorter pet hair used for this test in its dustbin. We tested the robot's cleaning efficiency and coverage in 2 different environments, an empty room and a cluttered room. In our empty room testing, we see the Shark IQ moving very precisely in a row-by-row pattern as it cleans across the room. We also see it getting mostly complete coverage in this test. But on the negative side of things, we also see how it doesn't move more than once over most areas of the room in 1 cleaning cycle. This means that it will often require multiple cleaning cycles to get a thorough cleaning of a room, as we saw demonstrated in our pickup testing. In our cluttered room testing, we again see the IQ trying to clean in neat rows. However, this time there are a number of obstacles in its way. In this first trial, it definitely doesn't move as gracefully around the chair frame as many other mapping robots we tested, but it does get good coverage underneath it nonetheless. In the second trial, it also pushes the circular container around much more than most other mapping robots we tested, and once again pushes the chair frame around as it cleans around and underneath it. In this third trial, it pushes the chair frame around even more than previous trials. The main takeaway here is that the IQ struggles a bit navigating around complex obstacles like chair legs, but gets good coverage around such obstacles nonetheless. The Shark IQ is a mapping robot and should theoretically be able to generate a map of your home after a few cleaning cycles, but the unit we tested for review did not. We were unable to get the robot to generate even 1 map during testing. We ran 9 different trials in our cluttered environment in an attempt to get it to generate a map, and it never did. All of the other mapping robots we tested in the exact same environment could generate a map in 1 to 3 runs at most. The Shark never did, and so we could never test its mapping functionality. Other important specifications and test results we considered for this review are summarized here. Especially note the Shark IQ's runtime and noise output, and how those specifications and test results compare to the average for all of the robot vacuums we've tested so far. Lastly, note the robot's diameter and height. These dimensions make the Shark IQ one of the smaller robot vacuums we've tested. Moving on to what we like and dislike about this vacuum, first let's talk about what we like. The Shark IQ has good airflow, and it picks up most types of debris reasonably well. It gets good coverage even in cluttered environments. But most of all, we like the fact that it comes with an auto-empty station. It's very convenient not having to physically remove its dustbin to empty it. Moving on to what we dislike about the IQ, its side brushes are highly ineffective, which especially hurts its edge cleaning performance. It does get good coverage in cluttered spaces, but has quite a bit of trouble navigating around more complex obstacles like chair legs. The robot also struggles generating maps. In terms of general recommendations, the main appeal of the Shark IQ is that it's one of the cheapest self-empty robot vacuums on the market. The problem is that it's just not a very good robot vacuum otherwise. Could you buy this robot vacuum and learn to live with its shortcomings for the sake of having auto-empty functionality at a low price? Maybe. But overall, its shortcomings are too many and too substantial for us to recommend it to most consumers. And so we generally do not recommend it. See the description of this video for a link to the latest updated list of all of the robot vacuums we do recommend, and thank you for watching.